Hi, everybody. This is Odd. Hey, so listen, I really shouldn't be allowed to control our Twitter because I get myself into trouble. Yeah, I said I would answer 10 questions that people tweeted. So far, two people have done that. JoJo Has Fun superfans, Javier and FizzBubbleTea, who we love dearly and who make our lives better every day by their fandom. But I did agree that I would make a video for each of them where I would answer 10 of their questions. So I'm going to do that. Let's see here. I asked Fizzy to give 10 questions, and I see technically 10, but I also only see, like, it starts there. It starts at question 2. I guess question 1 would be, for real, will I do this? And the answer is yes. Unless the question originally was like, when is Pip has game gonna start? Or Jeff and Danielle, or Kim has puns, the reboots of our show. I'll take that to mean a real question. Whenever they want is the answer. Jeff and Danielle, or Kim has puns, or Pip doing whatever. Yeah, I mean, I don't. If those are specific show ideas, like Kim reading a bunch of puns, or, you know what? That actually is a good idea. We just give Kim a list of puns, and then the two of us say them back and forth. That would be a really fun idea. Whenever we have ideas for shows, it's just we don't have the money or the time. Anyone wants to do stuff? Any of them want to do something for the show? I'll work my hardest to help them out. If I had to choose a couple of characters to relate to, who would they be and why? A couple of characters to relate to. I relate to characters who are like the comic relief. Who kind of like take tension away. There's this one thing I remember when I was a kid. I went and saw The Lion King for the first time. And there's that part where Nala shows up at the oasis to capture, she's just looking for food, and she finds Simba there, and they're fighting. And there's a part where Timon walks up and is like, all right, let me get this straight. You know him, you know her, she knows you, and she wants to eat him. And nobody has a problem with this? And for some reason, that line made me laugh so hard, and that scene was so cool that I kept saying it. I tried to do it in school a lot. Like I would try to bring up that scene in school. Like, whoa. So you got the kickball, he has the kickball, and I can't play kickball, and no one has a problem with this? That was me. Didn't have a ton of friends. I hope that answers the question of what characters I like. It's comic relief characters, secondary characters. I like them. I don't know. What game from my childhood that I absolutely love and would play over and over no matter what? Persona 4. I think Persona 4 was, for me, a super important game. I got it at a weird time in my life where it was like I was finishing college and I didn't know what I wanted to do or be. And also, like, I've always been pretty antisocial, or just like, I don't know. I'm not very good at the ability to make friends, or I don't know exactly how you're supposed to have them. And that whole game is built around the idea of you make friendships and you develop those friendships. One, because it's great and because you get to help those people and they're better, but also because it empowers you. It makes you stronger. And I would say I play that game almost once a year. I haven't played it this year, or last year I didn't play it because I had Persona 5. I replayed that. And I want to replay Persona 4 Golden because I bought a Vita specifically for that game, and I didn't buy a PS TV in time, so now PSTVs are super expensive, and that's like the best way to play Persona 4. So there's gonna come a day when I'm just like, I gotta play it, and I'm gonna get a PSTV. That, or they're gonna re-release Golden for another console, which would be pretty nice. But yeah. So if that's the game, I don't know if you would call that my childhood, my early 20s, because I definitely felt like a child. But yeah, Persona 4, easily. When it comes to being a kid, a game, I guess none of those games really. It would have been, if you had asked me 10 years ago, I probably would have said Zelda or Knights of the Old Republic 1. But those games don't hit me the same way. I don't know. Question 3. What is my favorite anime, and would you seriously recommend them to everyone who would ask? I've been out of anime, like, as a subculture for a long time. Not for any particular reason. I lost the time to do it. But long series. Dragon Ball Z and Inuyasha. Short 25 run series. Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, Speed Grapher. Series shorter than that, which are weird and arty. One Punch Man, Paranoia Agent, Fooly Cooly, FLCL. I realize a lot of my anime suggestions are early Adult Swim shows, and that's mostly because that was my access to anime when I was in the early 2000s. That's how I watched it. So, question 4. Favorite home cooked meal? Growing up, I remember my dad would make this pasta dish. It was like penny pasta with mozzarella cheese, basil, carrots, and cut up sautéed ham steak. My dad used to work in restaurants and in hotels as a cook. And I really liked it. I've never been able to figure out how to make it. My grandma used to also make fried rice, which is really nice. Which is pretty basic fried rice, you know. It was like, it's rice, soy sauce, carrots, peas, cut up pieces of bacon, standard fried rice stuff. If recently, my favorite home cooked meal would probably be beef bourguignon with fresh baked bread, which is what Holly would make. Was made a lot before she started working. She was teaching herself how to cook, and those are really complicated things to make. Is beef bourguignon, which is just beef stew, but it's really easy, and fresh baked sourdough bread, which is the best bread ever. Like we went to like a 2-star Michelin restaurant, which the tire people, Michelin, they know food, and this place had bread that we ate it, and I was like, this is about what you make at home. So yeah, those are home cooked meals. If those are favorite home cooked meals, the penny pasta meal and fried rice when I was a kid, and then as an adult, beef bourguignon with fresh baked bread. Yeah. Got any embarrassing stories I'm willing to share? Yeah, I have like 2,000 episodes worth. They're called JoJo Has Fun. I remember one time I was in college, and I was over at like someone's apartment. Or no, it was this is embarrassing. I went to an art camp when I was in college. It was this summer program. You would go and you would just do art for a while. And I was studying poetry at the time, so I was studying literature, I guess. And geez Louise. I remember I was visiting my friend's dorm, my 2 friends. And I was just like standing on the balcony, like, cuz her dorm had, it was a she. Her dorm had a balcony and you could see out. and she was in the room just like hardcore making out with this dude. And like, or if it wasn't hardcore making out, it was at least softcore like moment. I maybe remember, maybe they were just talking. I don't know. I remember this a little weirdly. But what I do know was I had this thought of like, this is incredibly awkward because I have to either walk through that or pretend I'm really interested in looking out this balcony. And I chose that option. I looked out the balcony for like a half an hour before I finally like rushed past, and I was like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go," while they were like making out. And I just ran off. That was pretty awful. That was a pretty awful time. Yeah. Because I should have just been one. I shouldn't have been in that situation. Like I should have been not as stupid, but I should have just been like at the start. Hey, I see you guys are making out. I'm gonna go. See ya. Gotta go. I didn't. So yeah, I haven't thought about that in a little bit. So I hope that's embarrassing enough for you. And hey, I have other embarrassing stories. You can watch them. They're up forever until YouTube dies or kicks me off. Do you know that you and the Has Fun crew are like super duper awesome? No. No, I do not. Is there any other country you would like to go to? I mean, I want to go to Japan. Not for typical weeb reasons. I just want to go. I've wanted to go since I was like in high school. My grandparents on my dad's side are Japanese. I'd also like to go to Germany and England and all those places. I just want to go to the basic places people go to. I'm not super interesting. Although I don't know. I mean, I'd like to travel. I would like to travel. I like being in places. I hate getting there. Like most. Yeah. I guess that's pretty much. Yeah. Japan and tool around Europe and then write a book called Eat, Pray, Fart. Do I collect anything? How big is the collection? Oh man. Probably video games is the biggest collection. I don't know how big it is. I've never counted. And I don't even think of it that way. But I have lots of the starts of collections. Like I have like 6 cases of comics from like the entire Trinity War series, which is not a very good Justice League story. The entire Death of the Family arc. I have an entire run of the Gail Simone Batgirl, because that was my favorite comic book series from the New 52. I have a big collection of role-playing game books for this game called Call of Cthulhu, which was like it was the next big RPG after Dungeons and Dragons. And it was a horror-themed one, which I thought was super interesting. I get really obsessed about things as like a person, and then I'll just be super into that, and I'll just like start getting stuff for it. Which honestly is like how a lot of the things in my life came about. So like, I mean, I wish I had something to say like cool, like I collect records or and I have a huge record collection, or I collect phonographs. I collect photos or art or stuff like that, but I don't think of myself as like a collector of things, except maybe video games, and I'm not really a collector. I don't peruse eBay looking for that fancy copy of Last Samson that someone doesn't know what they have. But yeah, I mean, I hope that answers the question. How is 2020 treating me so far? It's good. It's good. It's doing okay so far. Nothing bad has happened to me personally yet. I mean, the world in general is in a bad spot, but I've been okay. And the people I'm around are just mostly okay. So that's good. But yeah, it's treating me just fine. Finally, is there any movies you're looking forward to in this upcoming year? Are there any movies that I look forward to anymore? Am I excited for any of this? I mean, I'm excited for Sonic, but for the wrong reason. No, none of this. I guess Ghostbusters, but again, no. There's a Scooby-Doo movie that's what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with no. I'm not really excited for any of this stuff. This all looks just awful. So there you go. Okay. Well, I hope that answered all of your questions. And it was interesting. It was interesting for me having to do it. But thank you. If you enjoyed this video, I'm going to do another one just like it where I answer questions from Javier. And if you would like to submit questions yourself, you can tweet them to me, or you can to Jojo Has Fun, or you can just write out 10 in the comments here. Yeah. I know this format's a little threadbare, just my head in the corner and Chrome, but you know, I do what I can. I don't have the best lighting at my house, so sorry. But thank you, and hit the bell, whatever YouTubers say. Anyway, bye.